Okay. Let thy heart be strong, for the good shall announce righteousness to the good. The righteous with the righteous shall rejoice, and shall offer congratulations to one another. But sinners shall die with the sinners, and the apostate go down with the apostate. Apostate means fallen from the faith. The apostate church is one world, a new religion that's going to come on the scene. That's going to get the whole world, this false prophet and the apostate religious crowd that sell out, that fall away from the faith. Paul talked about it in his day. To get along in this life, they're going to sell out and cause the whole world to sell out and bow down to this false religious leader. And you have these ecumenical movements. I taught on Get the Religious Mob, the video. I taught on that already. It's already, this ecumenical movement's been going on. They're trying to iron out their differences. They're all going to come under the flag of the ancient occult Baal and Asher, some form of it, with a new face, new age face painted on. Christ-like, but they're going to deceive many. So I done taught on that in Revelations. You get the Revelation series. I done taught on the false prophet. I done taught the age of the beast. You can get that teaching. I include him a little bit in that as well. But it takes a false religious system to lead the whole world astray. They're going to depart from the faith that was once given from the saints. And this one world religion that whose message is the message of the dragon, as Revelation said. The message of bow down to government. Humanism, maximize all 666 is. Humanism, 6 is the number of man times 3, the number of divine manifestation. It's the humanism playing God on this earth. Humanism divinely maximized. And causing man to worship man, which is the beastly government, the Antichrist government incarnate. That's why it's our duty, our job as Christians. We're supposed to be salt and light to push this Antichrist system back until God says enough and takes us out of here, then he can be revealed, as I've taught several times. It's our duty to hold back the spirit of the Antichrist. Paul, all the early church world, that's all they doing. They was battling the spirit of the Antichrist. It done got worse now in our day. And their whole mission is to take away your freedom and make you a slave to the system. World government crushing you under their boot, like Rome did. How many millions did Rome kill of Christians over the centuries? They want to get this system back in place, and they're going to start killing Jews and Christians again. It's just like the good old days. They're being killed around the world as it is now. But what they got, these Islamic radical terrorists that's been slaughtering them by the hundreds of thousands over the years, while the so-called Christian church has been silent on it. Because they're bound by the 501 CP3s from speaking out against the injustices of this cruel regime that the president is taking care of and eradicating from the face of the earth, thank God. Okay. Now, and sinners shall die with the sinners, and the apostate go down with the apostate. And those who practice righteousness shall die on the account of the deeds of men. They're going to kill some of them. And be taken away on account of the doings of the godless. You're going to be falsely accused by this unjust system. It's been happening throughout the ages. Rome was the worst. But they're bringing it back today, where Christianity is under assault again in all angles, including this country and its justice system. And all the powers that be are persecuting the church. It's a soft form of it going on right in front of you. That's on all the mediums, television and otherwise social mediums, being persecuted. Nothing's changed. Satan is the god of this world. And most of these people are in allegiance with him. They run this world. But you ain't going to get any fairness. You got to fight for every square inch. That's what the church is supposed to do anyway. It's supposed to be warriors. And not let them, supposed to push back. And in those days, they ceased to speak to me. And I came to my people, blessing the Lord of the world. And now, my son Methuselah, all these things I am recounting to thee, and writing down for thee. And I have revealed to thee everything, and given thee books. See? Who did he give these books to? Methuselah. For these boneheads are talking about there's no writings from Enoch. Yes, there. Yes, there were. Oh, there were some books left. That's how you think we're reading this here. I have revealed to these things and given these books concerning all these. So preserve, my son Methuselah, the books from thy father's hand, and see that thou deliver them to the generations of the world. And I bet he did. That's why we're reading it now. The Book of Enoch. And I'm sure Methuselah passed it down to Noah. And Noah had those books on the ark with him. And those books were preserved and passed down to Shem, his son. And I'm sure Abraham was aware of these books. His great-grandson. I have given wisdom to these thy children, and thy children that shall be with thee, that they may give it to their children for generations. The wisdom, namely, that passes their thought. And those who understand it shall not sleep, but shall listen with the ear, that they may learn this wisdom. And it shall please those that eat thereof better than for food. Blessed are the righteous. Blessed are those who walk in the way of righteousness, and sin not as the sinners in the reckoning of all their days, in which the sun transverses the heaven. Enter into departing from the portals for the days, with the heads of thousands of the order of the stars, together with the four which are intercalated, which divide the four portions of the year, which lead them and enter with them 4 days. Owing to them men shall be at fault, and not reckon them in the whole reckoning of the year. Yea, man shall be at fault, and not recognize them accurately, for they belong to the reckoning of the year, and are truly recorded thereon forever. One in the first portal, one in the third. In other words, he said this original knowledge is going to be tainted. We're on a pagan system here for the calendar, pagan calendar. Same what God intended. God had his sacred calendar, and Satan contaminated it and threw everything up. And one in the fourth, and one in the sixth, and the year is completed in 364 days. And the account thereof is accurate, and the recorded reckoning thereof exact, for the luminaries and the months and the festivals and the years and the days. Uriel shone and revealed to me, to whom the Lord of the whole creation of the world has subjected the hosts of heaven. And he has power over night and day in the heaven, to cause the light to give light to men, sun, moon, and stars, all the powers of heaven, which revolve in their circular chariots, their orbits. Everything has an orbit. He said chariots, because he said the winds are driving. And these are the orders of the stars which set in their places and in their seasons and festivals and months. And these are the names of those who lead them, whom watch that they enter at their time and their order, in their season in the months, in their periods of dominion, and in their positions. Therefore leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year enter first, and after them the 12 leaders of the orders who divide the months. There are heads over thousands who divide the days. So it's an army for time. That's basically what he's saying. That makes sure everything's running according to God's clock that he initiated. There are heads over thousands who divide the days, and for the 4 intercalary days, there are the leaders which sunder the 4 parts of the year. The summer, spring, winter, fall. It's talking about the 4 parts. And then you have those that deal with the 12 months. And then you have those that deal with the months, as far as time is concerned. Those that deal with the days. I guess you could say it goes down to the hours, to the 24, to the minutes, and to the seconds. You got somebody making sure everything's running smooth. So it's an army, a host, he says, that carry out these functions to make sure everything's running according to God's schedule. But God has got a precision. I said it a million times. And these heads over thousands that are intercalated between their leader and leader, each behind a station, but their leaders make the divisions. And these are the names of the leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year which are ordained: Milkakiel and Hilim Melech, and Melejah and Nariah. Sound very Arabic to me. And the names of those who lead them: Arnariah and Jezuziah and Aluminah. These 3 follow the leaders of the orders. And there is one that follows the 3 leaders of the orders, which follow these leaders of stations that divide the 4 parts of the year. In the beginning of the year, Melchijah rises first and rules, whose name is Ta'amani, and son. In all the days of his dominion, whilst he bare rule, are 91 days. And these are the signs of the days which are to be seen on earth in the days of his dominion: sweat and heat and calms. And all the trees bear fruit, and leaves are produced on the trees, and harvest of wheat, and the rose flowers, and all the flowers which come forth in the field. But the trees of the winter season become withered. And these are the names of the leaders which are under them. Okay, he started out with fall, so now we done moved into winter. Berkiel, Zalapsiel, and other who added the head of 1,000, called Halu-Jasaph. And the days of the dominion of these leaders are at an end. The next leader after him is Hemelech Melech, who whom one names the shining sun. And all the days of his life are 91 days. And these are the signs of his days on the earth: glowing heat and dryness. And trees ripen their fruits and produce all their fruit ripe and ready. And the sheep pair and become pregnant. And all the fruits of the earth are gathered in, and everything that is in the fields, and the winepress. These things take place in the days of his dominion. These are the names and orders of the leaders of those heads of the orders, and the leaders of those heads of thousands. Jadep Majal, Kiel and Hiel, Kiel and Heliel. Let's get that. And the name of the head of the thousand which is added to them, Asphiel. And the names and the days of his dominion are at an end. And now, my son Methuselah, I will show thee all my visions which I have seen, recounting them before thee. 2 visions I saw before I took a wife, and the one was quite unlike the other. The first, when I was learning to write. The second, before I took my mother, whom I saw a terrible vision. And regarding them I prayed to the Lord. I prayed to the Lord. I had laid me down in the house of my grandfather, Mahaliel, when I saw in a vision how the heaven collapsed and was borne off and fell to the earth. And when it fell to the earth, I saw how the earth was swallowed up in a great abyss, and mountains were suspended on the mountains, and hills sank down on the hills, and high trees was rent from their stems, and hurled down and sunk in the abyss. And thereupon a word fell into my mouth, and I lifted up my voice to cry aloud, and said, the earth is destroyed. And my grandfather, Mahaliel, waked me up as I lay near him, and said unto me, why dost thou cry so, my son? And why dost thou make such lamentation? And I recounted to him the whole vision which I had seen. And he said unto me, a terrible thing hast thou seen, my son, and a grave moment in thy dream vision as to the secrets of all the sin of the earth. It must sink into the abyss and be destroyed with a great destruction. Water. God put this whole earth under water. And I recounted to him the whole vision which I had seen. And he said unto me, and it must sink into the abyss and be destroyed with a great destruction. And now, my son, arise and make petition to the Lord of glory, since thou art a believer, that a remnant may remain on the earth, and that he may not destroy the whole earth. My son, from heaven, all this will come upon the earth, and upon the earth there will be great destruction. After that I arose and prayed and implored and besought and wrote down my prayer for the generations of the world. And I will show everything to thee, my son Methuselah. And when I had gone forth below and seen the heaven, and the rising in the east, and the moon setting in the west, and the few stars, and the whole earth, and everything as he has shown in the beginning, then I blessed the Lord of judgment, and extolled him, because he had made the sun to go forth from the windows of the east. And he ascended and rose on the face of the heaven, and set out and kept traversing the path shown unto him. And I lifted up my hands in righteousness, and blessed the Holy and Great One, and spake with the breath of my mouth, and with the tongue of flesh, which God has made for the children of the flesh of men. We speak in the language of men. The angels have their language, the tongues of angels, which God has made for the children of the flesh of men, that they should speak therewith, and gave them breath and tongue and a mouth, that they should speak therewith. That's what God gave you a voice for. Use it. Blessed be thou, O Lord, King great and mighty, in thy greatness, Lord of the whole creation of heaven, King of kings, and God of the whole earth. God of the whole world. And thy power and thy kingship and thy greatness abide forever and ever. And throughout all generations, thy dominion and all the heavens are thy throne forever, and the whole earth thy footstool forever and ever. For thou hast made, and thou hast rulest all things, and nothing is too hard for thee. God is Jehovah P.4, God of impossibility. Nothing's impossible for him. Wisdom departs not from the place of thy throne, nor turns away from thy presence. And thou knowest and seest and hearest everything. We're all naked and exposed to God. There's nothing that you're doing he doesn't see and haven't recorded. And that's all mankind, even those that think they're getting away with something that's the rulers of darkness of this world. God sees it all and has recorded it all. They're not going to get away with it either. All the evil they've done. For thou hast made, and thou rulest all things, and nothing is too hard for thee. Wisdom departs not from thy place of thy throne, nor turns away from thy presence. And thou knowest and seest and hearest everything. And there is none hid from thee, for thou seest everything. And now the angels of thy heavens are guilty of trespass. Those fallen 200 angels, including, forget Satan and his bunch too, his third. Chalk them up too. And upon the flesh of men abideth thy wrath until the great day of judgment. And now, O God and Lord and great King, I implore and beseech thee to fulfill my prayer, to leave me a posterity on earth, and not to destroy all the flesh of man. So he's making his supplication to God. He's petitioning God to not wipe out everybody. Spare my seed at least, Father in heaven. I implore thee, beseech thee, fulfill my prayer to leave me a posterity on the earth, and not to destroy all the flesh of man, and make the earth without inhabitant, so that there should be an eternal destruction. And now, my Lord, destroy from the earth the flesh which has aroused thy wrath, but the flesh of righteousness and uprightness establishes a plant of the eternal seed, and hide not thy face from the prayer of thy servant, O Lord. He said, Lord, answer me. Don't put me off. Okay, we're going to take a break here. Hope you're enjoying the Book of Enoch as Brother Jay reads. Don't forget to support this ministry with your tithes, offerings, first fruits, alabaster box. Send it to streetpriestministry.org. Hit that donate button if I'm the one that's teaching you. And we're going to pick up, this is the end of part 4. We're going to pick up on part 5 in the next 5 video series. God bless you. Good day, good evening, good night to you around the world. May you go in faith in Jesus' name.